Namaskar. Welcome to day 16 of my yoga practices towards the celebration of International Day of Yoga, which I will be celebrating with you all from Times Square, New York on 21st of June 2026. Today is March 29th, and it is Yog Sutra 1.16 from Maharshi Patanjali's Yog Sutra, Samadhi Pad, or the first chapter that we will be practicing based on Yog Sutra 1.16. The Yog Sutra 1.16. Let's try to recite. Tat Param Purush Khyater Guna Vaitrishnayam. Once again, Tatparam Purush Khyater Gunam. Tatparam Purush Khyater Guna Vaitrishnayam. The highest vairāgya. Well, yesterday on day 15, we explored vairāgya, the ability to see something and not pulled by it. We discussed vairagya, which is ability to see something but not be pulled by it. But today, let's get a bit deeper into vairagya. Tatparam purush khyater guna vaitrishnayam. The highest vairagya arises when one becomes free from subtle inner pulls through clarity of the self. If we have to explain this, then according to Maharshi Patanjali, Patanjali says there are two levels of vairagya. One is the ordinary one, the lower level, which we discussed on yesterday, 1.15 Yoga Sutra. The ordinary vairagya, which is freedom from cravings for things we see or we hear about. Freedom from cravings from the things we see or hear about. But today, day 16, it's Param Vairagya, the highest level of Vairagya, the non attachment. It is the freedom from the subtle cravings inside us, the need to be liked, the need to be right, the need to be appreciated, the need to control outcomes, the need to prove ourselves. Well, this is not suppression, this is not indifference, this is inner fullness. A quiet contentment that makes craving unnecessary. And if I have to give an analogy, I would say that think of a moment when you felt deeply at peace. Any moment. Think of a moment when you felt deeply wholesome. Not because something happened or someone praised you, but simply because you felt whole. In that moment, you didn't need approval, did you? You didn't need validation. You didn't need anything extra. This is Param Vairagya, the fullness that softens all cravings. But why this matters today? Why are we discussing? Very much it matters in today's world. We are constantly told that be more, achieve more, prove more, show more. This creates, of course, subtle cravings for recognition, for visibility, for um, validation. Maharishi Patanjali says freedom begins when we stop chasing and start resting in who we already are. Freedom begins when we stop chasing and start resting in who we already are. So, what are we going to practice? How are we going to practice the param vairagya, or the highest level of non attachment? To understand param vairagya, we will practice some gentle classical movements, Griva Sanchalan, Vakra Sanchalan, Skanda Sanchalan, Marjari Bitilasan, that we have been practicing every day. We will notice the subtle cravings. We will notice the subtle cravings. And we will try to soften the pull. The classical movements are slow, simple movements, and that help us stay present without performing, without proving, or not even trying to perfect. So, without taking that push to perfect. And we will also practice stillness, antar maun, nabhi dharan, and just thir sukham dhyanam, which will help us reveal the self. When we settle our breath through stillness practice, breath, awareness, and the gentle observation. So it will reveal the self. That's the practice. So let's begin with our gentle classical movements, Griva Sanchalan. The gentle neck rolls, slow circles, no performance, just our presence. So I'll take off my glass for a bit. And Griva Sanchalan is the gentle neck roll. And to do that, back and spine straight. Roll your shoulders bit if you want. And now your chin slightly tucked in with a smile on your face. Yes, for no reason. Smile on your face. Neck rolls. Normal breathing. You may keep your eyes open. And on the opposite, Griva Sanchalan. If you have time, you can do more neck rolls while you try to notice the subtle cravings, the thought that comes in. And every time that happens, remember, we are practicing navel centered. So you would just bring your focus towards your navel. Next, let's move on to Skanda Sanchalanam. Skanda Sanchalan is the shoulder rolls. The shoulder rolls. You can I either hold the shoulder at this point and roll, or you can just place your hands on your palms facing up on your thighs if you're seated, or just stand as you are standing with about, just stand comfortably and roll your shoulders. You can do this 4 times, 3 and 4. Now let's roll it on the opposite side. 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Smooth rolls, and we let the breath guide the movement. So now let's move on to Marjorie Bitilasan, or the, I like to call it Bedalasan. It is more about the spine curving and stretching back. So it's amazing. Have you ever noticed how a cat stretches? I've seen it many times, and it looks amazing how far they can stretch, and then the curl and the opening up. So it looks amazing. So let's practice the Marjorie Betilasan, the famously cat cow. So if you're seated, it's okay. If you're on all your fours, it is okay. If you're standing, you can just do this, and like how I'm doing while seated. So let's do it. To do this, bring in all the oxygen from nearby and breathe in. And as you release, exhale. Excellent. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in and look up and release. Today I'm going to show you another method of cat cow if you're using chair, if you're seated on a chair. So, what you can do is you can just hold the chair by the side like this, back and spine straight, and you just fold forward, making sure your spine curves. So, and go down and then look up and release. So you could try this without using your hands. The hands will just be at the side just for light support. So you can practice this way also. Now, last but not the least, we move on to with the gentle, the classical movement, which is Vakra Sanchalanam. So the Vakra Sanchalan is the gentle spinal twist. So if you're seated just like me using a chair, it becomes a little bit easier. But well, I'm not seated for easier to do Vakra Sanchalan. It just helps with the setup and all. So here we are. You can do this while standing. It is called Vakrasan. You would just take about 2 feet distance, and your hands, just stretch your hands, but mainly your navel will guide the movement of the spinal twists. So let's get started with Vakra Sanchalanam while I am seated in this chair. So back and spine straight and looking at a point at the eye level and with the smile on your face. Now twist to your side, gazing over your shoulders, and slowly come back to the center and to the other side. Back to the center. And we repeat. So here we go. Center and back. That was our Skand Sanchalanam, or the gentle spinal twist. Make sure you twist with ease. Sthir Sukham Asanam. When you practice yoga, it is not about perfection or being the best in the room, or it is not for someone else, for them to look at and say, wow, that's perfect. It's just for you. As long as you find your balance, you are in stable state, and you're comfortable, sthir Sukham Asanam. That's your perfect posture. So if you can remember this, Sthir Sukham Asanam. So there's another way to check if you are following Sthir Sukham Asanam. That is your perfect posture with your stability intact and also your comfort. How you can check? Make sure you are within your sweet pain zone. Once again, within your sweet pain zone. So, as long as you stay within your sweet pain zone, the pain that does not um, that is not sour, that is not hurtful, painful. The pain where you feel the threshold, where you feel that okay, I can manage, and it's nice. It gives me good stretch, and it relaxes. Sometimes pain does give you that feeling. So as long as you reach that point, you are perfectly fine. So that way also to know that okay, so I'm comfortable, comfort comfortable. I'm not doing any hinsa, or I'm not being unkind to myself. I'm trying to listen to my body. So that's a good way to know that you are not doing hinsa or violence towards your own self. So be kind to yourself. Now we move on to, yes, my favorite, which is stillness practice. Why my favorite? Because stillness practice can be done anywhere, anytime. Doesn't matter whether you're waiting for the bus or the train or the flight, or you can just practice stillness. Stillness, can you believe it? Yes, stillness practice. Very simple through. The first one is Sthir Sukham Dhyanam. Sthir Sukham Dhyanam. So sthir is the stability, and sukham is the comfort, and dhyan is when you are meditating. So let's sit comfortably and let the breath settle. Yes, just like that. Sit comfortably, but making sure your back and spine is straight. Sit comfortably. You can sit in your favorite meditative pose, either Sukhasan, the cross legged, or in lotus pose, which is Padmasan, your choice. And just sit with your, I'm using chin mudra, and you can place it palms facing up or simply palms facing up. You don't have to do chin mudra, just simply palms facing up on your thighs. And just settle your breath. And how you do that? First, you observe your breath. In observing, notice if your mind is chasing any thought. When you do notice, just bring your focus to your navel. Just settle your breath. One more. Looks easy, it is easy if you have made up your mind. So now we move on to Antar Mon. You see the excitement on my face because um, this is the part, Antar Mon, which is to keep silence, to practicing keeping silence from inside, within. So I love this because of course you can do this anywhere, anytime. But the beauty of Antarmon is that, I mean, I have been practicing it so much, because something, when I notice that my mind is being pulled, and then I say that no, you don't have to. You know what? You can just focus on your breath. No, you don't have to attend to, or respond to, or react to that. For example, a phone notification. Well, I do not have any notification set up on my phone. Maybe that's part of the vairāgya practice that I have been doing. So, but I do see still that some message or something comes, and I would say, okay, you know what, just let it go. So this is a continuous practice, which is helping me, and it is always best to share with the ones that you care. And I do. I'm thankful for your presence every day. So Antarmon is the inner practice of inner keeping silence within. So you would notice the subtle cravings, that even though you're seated, you're um your posture, the way you're seated, you're practicing, it is not for anyone. Or, oh, is there someone else in the room watching me? Or um may say that, oh, the posture was not right, or validate, oh, that's how you do it. No, we are not doing for that. No validation. We do not need appreciation or praises or anything. It is you who should be feeling that, okay, fine, i'm within my sweet pain zone, and I'm following sthir sukham asanam. And okay, I feel good, I feel wholesome, I do not need external validation. So, and just notice if the tendency to be pulled by the thought, by the senses, that I'm not being pulled. So we are practicing that antarmon. To practice antarmon, just notice. We are not looking for any approval. We are not looking for any praises, not looking for the control. We are noticing if our mind is being pulled, and we are, if you notice, just bring your focus back to your anchor, which is your navel, and come back to your natural rhythm. And the last here in stillness practice, but not the least, is the Nabhi Dharana. Nabhi, the navel, Dharana. So we stay with the navel. You can place one hand onto your navel, which is Nabhi, and that is your quiet center. And you would follow your breath. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just come back to your natural rhythm. So before we close today, I have day 16 challenge for you. Day 16 challenge. So today you would notice one moment when you feel the need for approval or praise or validation. Just notice. Just notice the need for validation or praise or approval. So at that time, you would just say to yourself, I am enough for this moment. For this moment, I am enough. Let me repeat the day 16 challenge to you. You would notice, you would notice one moment where you feel the need of approval or validation or praise, and you would just say at that moment that I am enough for this moment. I am enough just for this moment. That's just a practice. So let's close with three soft breaths. But our soft breaths are not just regular soft breaths. Our soft breaths are, we are equalizing the breath by you make your own count in inhalation and then you equalize it with the exhalation. So let's place one hand onto our navel, take few short breaths, and now breathe in. I would count to three and then exhale with the same number of three counts. So let's go. Breathe in, two, three. Breathe out, two, three. Breathe in, two, three. Breathe out, two, three. Breathe in, two, three. Breathe out, two, three. Today we explored Param Vairagya. Param Vairagya. Not suppression, not just the feeling of fullness. Feeling of fullness. Param Vairagya is the highest form of non attachment. Highest form of non attachment. So I would say, thank you for practicing with me today. Until we meet tomorrow, stay open, stay warm, and stay honest to your story. I thank you all for your presence. Thank you. And I'll quickly read your comments. So I see that Pavitra, thank you. Hello, Pavitra, how are you? And K. Hin Que Sirf 6492. Hello, how are you? Gion hyphen 67 hyphen R. Hi, thank you for joining. Marshy underscore boy 18. Hello, how are you? Eggy Phi YT 890. Thank you so much. Thank you, so lovely. Eggy Phi YT. Thank you. Thank you so much. Emily Blay Lock hyphen W3. Oh, great. You're great and nice. Thank you, Emily. Emily, you see your reflection. My mom always said this, that if you say what you are. So you yourself are great and nice. Thank you so much for your lovely comment. And Egify, um, thank you, Emily. Emily, you're wonderful. Thank you so much. Says hi. Corny, Cor, Cortion family. Hello. Wonderful. Yes, I did hear you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. I would love to know which part of the world have you joined from. Thank you so much for being there. Courtney, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And Indranil, thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for everyone for your time. Thank you.